Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a different role. New team, different guys are going to have to step up and be leaders. I think that a big role for me is to kind of step up in that position. So I think definitely, a different role, and I think a lot of other people on this team also have new roles. I mean, yeah, we all have different strengths. We all can do a lot of good things the same. A lot of us can do some things better than others. And, personally, I just kind of worry about myself and just try to be a leader out there. Make sure our young guys are lined up, make sure we got the right call up front, and just kind of, get the ball in the end zone is my number one goal. And if we do that, I don't really care how we do it. I think the summer's always a good time. Just kind of, the coaches aren't really allowed to have a lot of contact. So when it's just kind of us out there with the strength and conditioning, it's kind of up to us to get things done. And when you just leave it up to us, it's a really good bond, just kind of being out there in the summer in the heat and running. So definitely grew a lot this summer. Yeah, I mean, we're working out a lot during the week here about, in the summer you're working out, doing a lot of throwing, a lot of lifting. So not, as much time as you think for that, but definitely as much as we can, trying to maybe just get in the film room, go over some things, any questions, just kind of mainly clear it up for any young guys that may, have any questions going into fall camp. Not to my knowledge. Yeah, we talked. We stayed a couple text messages. We talked a little bit when he was down here for the spring game, hung out. So definitely have a little connection going into fall camp. No, I mean it's not too bad. Yeah, I mean I'm competed with guys before, Jake Rodriguez, all the guys we have now, and when you're a quarterback and you're such a small knit group, you guys all get along pretty well. So not too weird. No, it's okay. It's your guys' job. Yeah, it's absolutely helped. I think when you first get on this stage and you're competing with such talented guys that we have here at quarterback at such a good school and university, I think 3 years of competing definitely helps to make that fourth one even easier. So I definitely don't take for granted the stuff I've learned over the last 3 years of just how to compete at this stage and with this kind of attention, just kind of learning how to block it out. I mean, no. I mean, we got so many guys that can make plays. It's going to be a bummer not having Thomas out there, but we're going to have a lot of guys that will step up, just like we're going to have guys step up at, receiver and offensive line and on defense. So I think it's no different. The next guy up will be ready to go, and we got a lot of guys that can make plays. Yeah, I mean, mainly just Coach Helford's, Coach Frost, just kind of be myself, trust what I can do, keep growing as a leader, and just trust myself and keep getting better and worrying about me. I think that's the main thing I've been focused on is just kind of improving myself and doing all the natural leadership type things I can do. I mean, yeah, I mean that's just little stuff on the white. I mean, we can talk about on film, going through practice, but that's definitely something we focus on every day. But in the big picture, just kind of improving myself and trusting, all my abilities is probably the big thing I've been working on. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a big weight upon us quarterbacks is to make sure that center feels comfortable. If he's making the call, make sure that you're echoing the call, or maybe if you need to make the call, you make the call. But I think kind of having the centers rotate, just kind of asking the quarterback to step up a little more. And so far, they've been doing a really good job of this summer, especially just kind of getting in that film room and being more comfortable with the calls because they're kind of that quarterback of that offensive line. Awesome. I mean, he stepped in. He's working hard. He's learning the offense as quick as he can. Just in walkthroughs today, he did a really good job. So I'm excited to kind of see him get out there. Maybe not today without the pads on, but kind of get the pads out, make some calls, and actually see him play some football. Yeah, I mean, of course, we got all the guys that played last year, guys like Charles, Braylon, Byron, Dwayne, and then I mean we got guys coming in their first year eligibility, guys like Jalen Brown, who graduated early, redshirted, and he's ready to go. Guys like they can come in and step in, true freshmen. We got 3 true freshmen playing receiver that all can play with Taj, Malik, and Kirk. So I think you're going to have a lot of guys out there that can make plays, and it's going to be pretty exciting as a quarterback to be surrounded by those type of people. I mean, I think that's something every kid thinks about growing up, picturing themselves, dreaming, being out there as a starter. But, I mean, it's no different than you try to think of it no different as a practice rep or your spring game rep or some reps you take in a game. It's just you're playing football. And I think whether, the situation is kind of something you don't worry about. You just worry about the 11 guys out there on offense and on 11 guys on D and just, one play at a time. And, it's something everyone thinks about, but it should be no different. Yeah, I mean, of course, I think we'd all love to have Thomas out there. It just provides one more weapon in our offense. But we've missed guys like that before, and you just kind of got to next guy up and regroup and go. I think, we've lost Braylon last year. We've lost Tyler Johnstone. So I think it's just guys, you lose guys, and you next guy up and you pick up and go. You can't worry about it too much.
Byron says we're all using the word pressure too much on the outsiders, that no one needs to feel pressure on this team. Does it make you feel more relaxed at least to know that you got all those guys?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're playing on this team with these type, not only these players that can help you out, but these coaches. They do a great job of teaching you and great job making you feel prepared. And having those coaches and that staff and your teammates around you, there's no reason to feel pressure.
Jeff, you obviously had a pretty close relationship with Marty this 9 years ago. What are some of the biggest things you learned from him along the way, and what is his advice to you?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good person and a great player, obviously, but I would say, you can learn a lot about him and the X's and O's and how to play and all that such, which is great. But I'd say the biggest thing is just how he handled, success, how he handled things like this, how he handled, going to the mall and getting recognized. So just how you handle that much attention and success like he did is probably something, that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Are you getting recognized when you go to the mall now?
Not too much. I blend in pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you can look at it either way. I don't think anyone is looking to fill Marcus's shoes. I think that's, very few, if any, could do that. So I think we're all just going to try to be ourselves and kind of do what we can do. I think every year, even with Marcus at quarterback, the Oregon offense changes, his identity changes a little bit. So this year's going to be no different. We're going to probably look a little different out there, do things a little different way, but trying to get the same result.
This summer during 7-on-7 defensively, who stood out to you?
Yeah, it's kind of hard 7-on-7. There's no D-line yet, but I mean, we got a lot of guys that can play. We got Tyree and Reggie Daniels both coming back at safety. They're going to step up, and then the cornerback battle is going to be really interesting to see in fall camp. Just with we got young guys there. We got guys that maybe have been here for 1 or 2 years, but for as far as we can tell out here, the cornerback battle with a lot of young guys should be really interesting to kind of see who develops there. And then as far as inside backers, we got a lot of guys, a lot of good leaders there, and a lot of experience. So it's exciting.
How often do you talk to Marcus now, Jeff and Sean?
Yeah, we try to stay in touch at least a couple times a week. We text or phone calls, but it's kind of funny. We're both going into camp, but his is a little different. It'll be my first camp without him, and kind of having him as a resource, being the old guy. So we still stay in contact, but it's kind of funny us two doing two totally different things.
Did he reach out to you today or yesterday?
Yeah, we talked a little bit. Yeah, I talked to him a little bit yesterday, and he's excited. And of course, with his little brother here, Matt, he told me, don't go too hard on him. He's doing good. I mean, it's Marcus. He's gonna have a good attitude and work as hard as he can. So I don't get too concerned over him.
Did he give you any advice about being involved in a battle like this, or did he just do it himself?
Yeah, I mean, he helped me a little bit battling when I was battling with Jake here when he was here. He always just told me, worry about yourself. Don't worry about anything anyone else is doing. Worry about your snaps, your plays. It doesn't matter if the other person throws a touchdown, 5 touchdowns, a pick. It doesn't matter. Just play as hard as you can about yourself and kind of pick your head up at the end of camp and see what happened.
Jeff, a lot of quarterbacks have come and gone in your tenure here. What has kept you here? When you've seen other guys make that change?
Yeah, absolutely. I think today, more than any, college football is kind of like a musical chairs with quarterbacks. It's who can replace that open chair quickest, whether you have to go across the country, up, down, divisions, across. So it's kind of an unknown thing to stay at a school, but I came here for a reason. I wanted to be a part of this. I loved, Coach Helf and what he was doing, and Coach Kelly when he first started, and what Coach Frost has now taken over with the quarterback. So this is where I want to be at this university with these coaches and in this town. So I think there's no reason for me to leave when I like where I am.
Do you notice it when you see guys moving around?
Yeah, I mean, you see it, and always, a lot of people like to ask you that question of, man, you could go here, and maybe you could be playing over there, but I mean, it's a lot of ifs and what ifs, and maybe you can get there. But, I like where I'm at here, and I'm in no rush to leave.
Will you have some nerves today?
Yeah, I mean, I think I mean, I don't know if maybe nerves when I was younger, but I mean, coming into my fourth fall camp, I can't believe it's the fourth one, but I know, I know what I need to do. I know what I have to do, and I think it's more excited. I finally get a chance to go out there and really have that kind of leadership role in fall camp. I'm excited. We good, Rob? Any questions? You sure? This is all you get for the day.
For Jeff Lockie.
Thank you.